All right, back for another episode of the Grown and Greek podcast. And let me go over these housekeeping notes. Please make sure that you are following us, on social media, Grown and Greek podcast. You can listen to the podcast on all podcast platforms, watch us on YouTube, and I appreciate it. And if you know somebody of the D9 whose story is phenomenal, please hit me up in my DM on IG. We'd appreciate that too, because we got to tell these stories. So, oh man, I'm excited for this one. He's not just a dedicated first responder and a firefighter, but he is also a cigar aficionado known as Mr. SODO. He's co-founder of the largest cigar festival in America, the Houston Cigar Week. He's a proud member of Omega Sci-Fi, as you can see, and a recording artist. Cannot wait to talk about that. He's a living testament to the power of following your dreams. Please welcome to the Grown and Greek podcast, my boy, Errick Presley. What's happening?
What's going on, Choc? How you doing? Thanks for having me.
I'm glad. I'm good. I'm so happy to talk to you. You know, we usually get together and talking about how we're gonna make some stuff pop off, but now I get to dive into the man that you are, and somebody that I admire, but also who's doing their thing, man. And so everybody needs to know just how great you are. So I appreciate you being and joining me on the podcast.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me, for sure.
So let's jump into this. So you are a first responder in one of the largest concentrated cities in the country, in Houston, and a firefighter. And obviously that makes you just brave and quick thinking by default, right? But what motivated you to choose that path, and how, have your views and stuff been shaped by the lifestyle that you've had to live being a firefighter?
The motivation. Wow. So initially I wasn't motivated to be a firefighter. I was just home from college, and I tried to figure out what I wanted to do with myself. So it was my aunt who worked in the fire department, human resources. Her boyfriend was a firefighter, and he would always come by and say, "Hey man, what are you doing with yourself? You got you have the college credit. You need to try firefighting now." So initially I'm saying, I'm not running into no burning building. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So, but he kept urging on. And then one day I said, you know what, let me get this a shot, And so I did. And, 28 years later, I'm still here.
And you got a bunch of accolades in those 28 years too.
Yes, I got a couple of promotions. Did firefighting and EMS for 15 years. Mm-hmm. And then now I'm a fire marshal. And that's going on 13 years. So 28 total years, going on 29. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's significant.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. You about ready? You about ready to?
I'm cruising right now, but I'm about ready.
So has the life been good? Because it's dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
It's dangerous, and you see a lot of things. I will say this here: I'm glad I went through it.
Okay.
And because I could say the first life that I did save was my son's. He was 2 years old, and he was choking. And had I not went through the training that I went through, or as giving him no back throws and abdominal thrusts, he probably would have choked on without me even knowing what to do.
Oh wow!
Because time is of the essence.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was the first. I would say that's the first. I was glad that I went through that training. That was the first life that I actually did save. So.
Oh wow! And since then, could you put a number on it?
Oh, I've saved plenty, but you can't save them all.
Okay.
So
yeah,
you can't save them all, but you do your best. And you see a lot. So and a lot of guys suffer from PTSD, and from what they've seen and been through. So I was fortunate to be able to store that memory, but not let it affect me.
Now, of all of the memories, we want to talk about the good ones, but what's one of the most memorable, I guess, that has reinforced like your that drive, I guess, in you? Like, what's been that most memorable situation, I guess, that you were in?
Um, well, I can remember my very first fire for
Okay.
sure. The very first fire was definitely memorable because when you're a rookie on the first line, and so it was this apartment fire, and you know when you get that call, it's an adrenaline rush. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what to expect. You did all your training, and now you're about to put your training into, full effect. So and and so when you're going up there and you got fire burning out the windows and coming through the doors, and I'm 6'4", and I'm in front of the line, uh, you know, you got to figure out, okay, how this is gonna turn out, but you can't think. So initially, we kicked in the door. I was on my knees, and we started pushing the fire out, and then we stopped for a little bit, and then next thing you know, fire was rolling above my helmet, and so we still had to kick it out. But after that, that's the most memorable moment right there on the fire side, I would say.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Now,
and it was
now look, you brought up something just now. that fire helmet. So let me tell y'all
Oh
some
man!
backstory, right?
Oh
So
wow!
we about to shift the conversation and talk about some personality, Errick Presley, right? So initially when before we met, let's say that before we met, we have some history in terms of good times. We've hung out, and Eric's a friend. He's a Virgo brother too, so that's making it even better. But when I initially was told about you before I met you in person, it was these guys on this recess getaways trip that were firemen, and they just were the life of the party. They turned up. They had flags. They had get ups and all of this stuff. And you got to meet them. You got to meet them. I can say to this day, don't nobody put it down. It's several of y'all partners that bring it. Yeah. But let me give you your kudos now. You lived up to every word. But they were saying his name is Mr. SODO, Mr. SODO, Mr. SODO. I was like, okay, Mr. SODO, what does that stand for? Like, what do you mean? What SODO? It all came together, right?
Yes.
So let's dive into that part.
Oh wow.
Where did SODO? Number one? What does SODO stand for? Secondly, where did it come from?
Okay. SODO is an acronym that stands for Smoke One, Drink One.
Okay.
It's cigars. I'm a cigar aficionado. And it started in 2011 at my birthday party. I did a small birthday party at a venue, and we were smoking cigars. And one of my coworkers said, "Hey man, I really like that. We need to do that again." I said, "Okay." Never thought about being in promotions or anything like that. I'm just a sociable guy. I mean, I love bringing people together. So I talked to the manager at the time, told him what I wanted to do. He said, "Okay." He said, "Well, I'll bring some cigar. I have a cigar vendor here, and you just get the people here and let me know." And so I created a flyer, told some of my coworkers, and they told people to come. And then that thing continued like every 30 days. And It got bigger and bigger and bigger. Now I say, well, I'm on to something now. So after that, I did a couple more events, and then I figured out, okay, I need to, what do I need to ask for? Because I'm making this business a lot of money, but I'm not getting anything. So, but I have to build this here crowd up so I can have a little leverage to, to see if I need to, what should I do? So I asked some of my more seasoned promoters on what to do, and they gave me some guidance. Well,
I can tell you, Smoke One, Drink One is doing its thing, and I can tell you when your reputation and everything preceded itself, but seeing other folks from other cities rocking your brand like hard, was like, that's when you know what I mean. And so I know that was an inspiration for what you're doing now with the largest cigar week in the country.
Wow. Yeah.
It's on record that it is Houston Cigar Week.
Houston Cigar
Week. Man, we We got to talk about that.
You on
We
in
got to
there?
talk about that. So
Okay.
from you being a a promoter locally to now you got all these people across the country coming
Yes.
to Houston to meet Mr. SODO and to participate in Cigar Week. What was that like, man? Like, what was the genesis of that? And, what did you learn from that experience that you can share, if somebody else that has a passion and something that ultimately defines them, like, how does it all come together?
Well, it starts with a vision. So you got to have the vision first. And I was one of the first, or if not the first, cigar aficionado promoter in Houston. So I was doing the cigar social parties in Houston. I did that for about 4 or 5 years. And then I started noticing a lot of other cigar groups started forming. And I've been to a number of other cigar events, festivals, and stuff like that. And then I noticed, I said, well, I didn't see one for us. You know what I'm saying? So I said, well, we have enough cigar smokers here that we can do something like this ourselves. So that's when I started the alliance. I brought 4 of the groups together.
Okay.
We formed the Houston Cigar Alliance, which I'm the chairman. And then we did a few events, like a few festivals here, 3-day festivals. And then we changed the name to Houston Cigar Week, in which we're now, 5 years stronger than ever.
And
So it's
it's a
all about
whole,
building a team.
yeah. And it's a whole week of vendors, of education, of, you got to have your turn up. You know what I'm saying? But, it's really making an economic impact in the city.
Oh, no doubt.
It's a lot of us there. But,
Mhm.
it's really making it. Did you see it that way in the beginning?
I didn't see it to be this enormous, this quick. But like I said, so I mean, we were doing pretty good numbers initially. But like I said, when you build a team, you have to know what your team brings to the table. And so we've created a great team who's already been traveling and doing networking outside. So when we bring them all together and we reach out to those connections that we have, we just continue to grow. So it's all about the team. I'm all about the team.
Yeah.
I know. I'm all about the team.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, that's how I met you.
Yeah.
Through some of your teammates.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but like it's a couple of groups here in locally where I am, and shoot, they come to Houston Cigar Week. They
Yes.
do some events and everything. But what I was, and I used to, well, I haven't DJ'd with them in a few years or whatever. Just it happens or whatever.
Mhm.
But what I was just really impressed with is the level of knowledge that it takes to be, a cigar aficionado, but at the same time, the effect that it has on culture, because it's a rich history, and gosh, like the leaves and all of that stuff with cigar smoking that I had no clue. Growing up, you saw grown men, never ladies, but you saw
Yeah.
grown men smoking cigars, and you was like,
Yeah.
man, and they smell good, they look
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
they got cufflinks, and
Yeah.
they all buttoned up and stuff. You was like, okay, he's somebody, he doing it,
Right.
and so now seeing you and some other friends and all that are into smoking, it brings back the same ideal about the type of man and representation that you have for the culture and for our people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that if you smoking cigars, that man is doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because cigars are not cheap.
They're not cheap. It's not a cheap
But
industry to be in.
what does it take, you think, to be an aficionado? Like, where did your education start with it? And what do you think, if somebody wanted to study cigars and understand how to smoke and the leaves and all that kind of stuff, so you can get the best out of it, what would you say?
You can get the best. Well, go to I would say, uh, talk to other cigar aficionados and learn how to smoke, how to light. Um, um, it's a lot of cigar etiquette that's
Mm.
on the web, but if you want to learn, learn from the people that you're around, and they'll teach you on which smokes to start. When I was doing my events and a lot of ladies wanted to start smoking, I would always start them off with a nice, sweet, mild cigar. You know,
Which is
which is
what
the
what kind?
Tatiana Groovy Blue. You know,
Tatiana Groovy Blue. Okay.
the Groovy Blue. I would
Okay.
start them with those Groovy Blues, and they will love it because it didn't have the aftertaste. It was nice and smooth, and it smelled good.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you could go from a Connecticut, to a Habano, Maduro, and all that stuff, depending on your level, your strength level. So you got mild, you got medium to full, and then you got full body. So, and color of the wrapper usually determines the strength of the cigar, but
Okay.
most times it does. Sometimes it doesn't.
Okay. Now what you got in your hand now?
I have a Plasencia. This is a medium to full cigar.
Okay.
So, and it's a pretty good cigar. So this is one of my favorite sticks right here.
Now is that a everyday? Because I know that there are breakfast cigars, there are dinner cigars, there are like let me kick it cigars.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cigar. Yeah,
You
you
got
got
to
to you
throw
got to
down.
break it all down. You got to break
This
it
is
all
not
down.
an everyday cigar, not for me.
Okay.
Uh, this is not an everyday. And actually, contrary to what a lot of people may think, Mr. Soto, when you say smoke one, drink one, because this came across to me one time. They said they thought I smoked every day. I say, no, I don't smoke every day. You know what I'm saying? I got to balance this thing out because I think health is wealth. So, I'm gonna smoke, I'm gonna drink, but I also gotta, I gotta keep my health up too, exercise and do all that stuff. So it's a nice, you got to balance it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I cannot remember the first cigar that I smoked. But I just what you said, I went with one of my homies and was doing like DJing some events and stuff because he actually used to have a shout out to Marvin Spencer, but had a cigar lounge in the area. And so he was like, let's go, let's go hang or whatever, and I'll teach you, how. So I was like, okay, um I'm scared. he's like he's like, don't be scared. He's like, but you got to remember, I'm gonna teach you and show you how to not inhale. You can't inhale and all this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
You gotta let it breathe or whatever. You feel it, and I said, okay. So anyway, we did, and it was a great experience because number one, I learned culture. I learned culture, and I learned what was good for me as a female. And man, Errick, it's crazy. There are so many women now that are like smoking cigars, know about cigars.
Yeah.
They got their own brands and everything, but it's amazing how it just brings the culture together. And
Mhm.
it's nothing, like harmful. There's no like spite. Everybody's there just kicking it. A lot of business deals and stuff like that happen. It's the most amazing, chill, family friendly reunion type environment that I think that I've ever been a part of.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely unifies the whole community.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm all about. So you never know who you're gonna meet at a cigar lounge or who
Yeah.
you're sitting next to and talking to. It could be a lawyer, a doctor, or someone.
Mm-hmm.
It could be Greek. Anyone. It could be someone that can definitely help you. I mean, I think you cross paths for a reason.
Yeah, no doubt.
And while you're smoking, you socialize, you're talking, you just never know. This person might help you along the way. Could help you, eventually help you along the way, or know somebody who can help you along the way. Just by this here stick right here. And this stick, we was able to bring over 17,000 people to one city, you know.
Hold up. What?
Seven, yes, yes, yeah,
What?
yeah.
What?
17,000 to one city. The city, I mean, and we're running out of space. So we're running out of space. We're trying to figure out course, we already working on 2026 to see how we're going to do this thing, because it's just keep growing and growing and growing.
Man.
Yeah, there's a lot
So
of people.
yes, and it's been since when? When was the beginning? 2011?
Well, we started in 2020.
2020. Okay.
We was going to do
Dang.
in 2019, but COVID and all that stuff. So, but 2020. So we're on our 5th year with Houston Cigar Week, going on our 6th year. And we do a comedy show, we do a concert, we do a ladies' summer soiree, we do a ladies' night, of course, where we bring a celebrity DJ in. This year we had Kid Capri,
Mm-hmm.
and we do golf, and then of course the Sunday finale, which is that's my day. So we bring
Okay.
the
Well,
all white party.
what that mean? What that mean? What does that mean?
The all white party.
Okay.
And most of the times you're gonna see me perform, at that party. So
yeah, we gonna get to that in 1 second, because hey, look, you a man after my own heart right there, talking about music. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a little set or something.
That's fine with me.
You me spin a little bit and hype you up, and then you go in on it.
Hey,
But
once I'm on the stage, I'm a whole different person. So
okay.
I might be a little shy on certain things, but once I'm up there performing, I'm good.
We got to talk about that. But let's let me ask you this, about about women, smoking cigars and getting started, because it is a way for it has become its own thing, you know what I mean? Almost like sororities and fraternities, you know what I mean? But if a woman wanted to partake, what would be your, I guess, perfect pair? I know you said you would start them off with one, but what would you pair it with? Like, is it good to drink wine with, or set the palate? Set the palate.
Definitely. I would say red wine is good. You can get the Tatiana, or you can get the Drew Estate has a good line of cigars called Fat Bottom Betty, Crazy Alice, and stuff like that. So those sweet cigars. But we got ladies right now who are drinking, who are smoking full body cigars, and they're drinking, and they like bourbon.
Ooh.
They like.
Well, I know a lot of women that like bourbon.
They like the strong stuff. So it's it's not just, these are not just women that just smoke the sweet stuff. They are smoking like the guys are, and they're taking over. You know what I'm saying? So they're taking over. They're smoking some stronger than some of the guys. So, but to each palate, it's their own palate and what they can handle. So.
Well, I know I can't get no full body. Like I'm a baby, so I wouldn't even go to that. But what does that mean? Like, is it the leaf? Is it the, I don't know. I don't know how to ask that question. Is it the tobacco? Like, what is it that makes it that?
Yeah. It's definitely the leaf and tobacco. How long it's aged, and the darker, of course, as in the filler in the binder, what they put in there, how they blend it. Makes it that full body cigar. And then in the medium to full, it's just it'll start off medium and it kind of hits you a little bit. But those full, people think smoking cigars is just for looks. It definitely puts you on your butt. If you smoke the wrong one, it's definitely gonna put you on your butt. You're gonna have to slow down. Yeah, truly. I've been there.
Oh, you have?
I've been there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, if you want to get the best of the best cigar, where's your spot?
In Houston?
Period.
Oh, period. The best of the best. I mean, you know what most people would say? Most people would say the Cohibas. With like the Cuban cigars and stuff like that, they would say that. But you got some great domestic cigars that pretty much compare with that cigar. So cigar lounges. I went to New Orleans to the Pro Cigar Association, and there's so many cigars out there. It's just hard to uh, find that's just that one to go and get. But it is so many cigars out there, and you have favorite lounges to make carry your favorite cigars. So,
Okay.
you know, it's not one because
Okay.
I've been smoking since '97, so it's not just one. It's plenty of them out there. I like trying different smokes. If I've had one for a couple of times, I like trying different ones just to check my palate and see if I like this one here better.
Mm-hmm. That's dope. That's dope. Well, I know for me, the smell of, a lounge, and then the cigar period, it can be real intoxicating, and so, I just from my little education or whatever, that makes a difference though. It makes a difference with your experience with it.
It definitely does, especially if you're at a lounge that's not well ventilated, because that smoke and gets all into your system and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. It could make you dizzy, where you need
Mm-hmm.
some fresh air.
Yeah.
So definitely a well ventilated lounge would be great. Of course, the smoke, but I grew up. My grandfather used to smoke pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was always amazed when I seen him in the living room with his legs crossed, smoking that pipe, and it was a sweet flavor that you could smell, and so I was like, man. So when I got grown, I said, let me try this cigar because I want to experience that smell that he was experiencing, but it was a totally different smell with the cigar that I learned that it's not the same thing. So and but uh, you know, that's where we was at.
It's crazy. That's parallel because my granddaddy smoked the pipe too.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, man. Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, very similar. So it's like a part of the culture. So let's talk now. We're gonna get to the music. We're gonna like top it off with some sauce, talking about the music in the end, but we got to talk about Omega Sapphire. You got your purple and gold.
I
You
got it.
got
I got
you
it.
got it all in the background,
Oh
man.
yeah.
Like, and what's crazy is there are a lot of brothers of Omega Sapphire who are cigar smokers.
Yes.
Why
Yes.
is that synonymous? And then, you got to talk about like what has it meant, to have two sides of camaraderie. You got fraternity, and then you got your passion for cigars. Like, how is that like brought the experience, being an Omega together?
Wow. Yeah. It definitely has brought the two worlds together. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and of course, they have already known what I've been doing with the SODO brand and all that, and to be a part of this great fraternity, um, it's been a wonderful feeling. It's been a wonderful feeling. I've been embraced, of course, um, and of course, I've added my what I do
Mm-hmm.
into the fraternity. So it's been a great relationship thus far. I've met a lot of people. I've become part of some other groups, Cigar Bros. They have a Cigar
Yeah.
Bros group. So I'm a part of that group. I kind of helped organize a party this past year. So and promote that. So that's been a great experience. And just traveling and meeting new bros, and meeting new friends. It's been a great experience. So yes.
And y'all do some, like on the cigar tip, y'all do some really good stuff, man. A lot of give back, a lot of scholarship money, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of just doing stuff in the community. So, from the outside looking in, yeah, you are the Cigar Bros. But the
Mm-hmm.
work that y'all do, to
Correct.
really do things in the community is very admirable, and you do it in fun. Like, man, we're gonna have fun, but we're gonna get the work done. And so,
Yes. And we just did a bourbon tasting. My chapter, we just did a bourbon tasting this past weekend, fundraiser, scholarship fundraiser. And it was a great turnout. We taste 6 different bourbons,
mm,
from 90 proof to 127 proof. So definitely learned a lot. definitely learned a lot when you're drinking bourbon on what to do. Oh yeah, to put some hair on your chest. But they gave us some tips to kind of ease that to blow off those fumes and stuff like that to make it more smoother. But it was definitely we walked out there pretty tipsy.
You
But it
said
was a
what
great
proof to
event.
what proof? What proof to what proof?
Started off 90 proof and went all the way up to 127.5.
Lord have mercy.
6 different bourbons. Yes.
Ooh, and it was a progression, or did they just hit you with?
No, it was a progression, and we got to talk about what we taste, to how it feel, how it make us feel, and
Okay.
where it was how long it was aged, uh, uh, and all that stuff. Yeah, so it was a great experience. Great
That's dope.
experience. We're
That's
gonna do it
dope.
again.
Okay, you gonna do it. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's all that matters right there.
yeah, we're gonna do it
So
again.
so we got to talk about your music now. I know that I know a side of you, you with the fireman hat,
Yeah,
and you being the life of the event and everything. But man, I did not know that you had music and stuff in you, man. Like what?
yeah,
What? But
yeah.
how you gotta, really tell me how it feels to be, doing something like that, and you breaking the mold and you're pursuing your passion, and you get to massage a part of you that
Mhm,
is creative, but then you getting a message out. Like, you
mhm.
talk about it. Like, talk about it.
Yeah, and it's crazy that you say that because that's the name of one of my songs. Let's talk about it. It's definitely one of my songs. So most people, well, this is my first. So I used to like to write poetry when I was in school. So I like to put that, connect words and stuff like that. So when I was in high school, I was with a group in the neighborhood called the Black Woodies, and we would write raps and stuff like that. 3 partners of mine, and one brother was the producer, and we would do shows around the city and stuff like that. Um, Even in college, I was doing the same thing. So I always had it in me, but I just never did,
Yeah.
pursue that part of it. I had to do that other stuff. So, and when I got into in the cigar world, knowing that I had that creativity to write, um, I said, well, we don't have any cigar music, so
Mm,
let me enter into this here field and do some cigar music. So most of the songs that's on my EP, it's about it's related to the cigar industry. My experience in the cigar community. My first song is "Smoke One, Drink One." It's talking about my day parties. How everything happened at my day parties. Everything is authentic. It really happened. If you listen to the songs, there's nothing made up in there. If you listen to the songs real carefully, yeah, it's very authentic. It's very real, and that's stuff that happens. So yeah,
what's been the most rewarding part about it?
the most rewarding part
Yeah.
is being able to perform,
Okay.
and people really liking the music and supporting it. That's the rewarding part. Even with my apparel, my soap,
Hmm.
my hats, my shirts. Um, I've made a lot and I've customized a lot of apparel for some people. And just to see them wearing their apparel
Hmm.
is rewarding for me. I mean, I love to see it. Uh, that's something I created that somebody else enjoys or wants, my creation. So that's always rewarding. Yeah.
And it's clean, man. Like, it's clean. It's it's professional. So
Mm-hmm.
like, even to shoot, even if you went to a meeting and something, you could have SODO on, but it doesn't like say anything. But I'm I'm somebody. I'm
Right.
somebody you need to, I'm
Yeah.
somebody. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So kudos, like, for real, for real, for real, for real. Like, kudos to that.
It's definitely a conversation piece.
Yeah.
Every time we wear it, even getting on the plane, people like, what does SODO mean? Or if you have a hat on, what does SODO mean? Or if you know somebody that, somebody know me and they say, oh, you know SODO? Like, yeah, I know SODO. So
Yeah.
I get that a lot. They wearing the hat, they wearing the shirt. And so that's always a great, great feeling. And I keep creating. I got more designs coming out, and so I just love doing it. That's just a passion of mine that I just love to do, to create and and see and visualize and and let things materialize.
Now, speaking of that, what would you say to somebody who has, because what you've told me that you've been kind of sitting on your opportunity to explode and perform and, really provide a missing link, you know what I mean, for a long time, you know what I mean? And you getting to do it now, and the reward is just, the wait made the reward greater. But what would you say to somebody who, is scared to take that jump? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what would you say to them?
Don't be scared. Don't give up. Just if it's something that's in you that you really want to do, just keep pushing forward. Eventually it's going to happen. That platform is going to come, and just don't give up. If it's something that you believe in, just keep pushing forward. Perseverance. So just keep going, and it'll happen for you. It'll happen.
Can you remember?
Don't give up. You're gonna come and connect with people that I think you meet people for the right reasons. You're going to cross paths, so you're gonna come in contact with people that's gonna help you along the way. But just don't give up on your passion. So just keep going.
Can you remember your first performance?
Oh yeah. For Cigar Week, or my very first performance?
Your very first performance as an artist.
I was at a club on the South Side, and I was the producer. He was always like to be behind scenes, so he didn't like to perform stage performance. So his brother and my other friend was performing, but I would always be on stage singing his part. So I knew the whole songs. I knew all the songs. So I was on stage performing his part, and then some guy came up afterwards. Hey, saying, are you Dirty Bird? I'm like, no. I say, I'm Prime, but I'm just performing his part. So they wanted to sign me behind my performance up there, and I'm like, nah. I say, I can't do this. I can't do that to them. So that was my very first performance, man. And but I'm a whole different person once I get on stage. I'm probably like some artists too. A lot of artists are pretty shy, but once they get on that stage, they turn up. So
yeah,
I think I'm the same way. So
well, my the person that made me fall in love with music, Michael Jackson, is our Virgo brother. So know how he is.
Yeah. Oh,
before he turns it on and becomes, Michael Jackson. So
that is true.
I have not witnessed either the artist, but I can't wait, man. I cannot wait. So you got to run down, like, where can folks get music? When is Cigar Week? What else what's next for Mr. SODO, and how folks can keep in touch with you and keep you locked?
Okay. So you definitely get the music on all platforms. It could be on Spotify, iHeart Music, iTunes. I think those platforms, DistroKid. Houston Cigar Week 2026, Memorial Day week. I gotta get the dates, but yeah, Memorial Day weekend. During that date, we're gonna start. This year we started on a Monday, but we're going back to Tuesday.
Okay.
We're going back to 6 days, so it'll be that Tuesday through Sunday. What else?
How people stay in contact with you?
Oh, stay in contact with Mr. SODO. Hey, you can find me on IG, SODO Events, or I am Mr. SODO. Or if you're on Facebook, Errick Presley, you can find me on there. I think that's it. Right?
And they got to be ready for that white party, if anything, though, right?
Yeah, well, we looking for space right now. The white party is crazy. It's crazy. Like I said, I performed a year ago, and then I performed again this year. I have a new song that's out that I'm putting out. It's called Friends. So definitely want to hear that.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Hey, you bringing it all together. Omega, Cigars, SODO, and yeah, you bring it all together. Well, man, I really appreciate you being on the podcast, and getting a chance to talk to you and celebrate you, and just let everybody know just how you got it going on down there in H-Town. You know what I mean? And what SODO means is, it's not just a moniker. It's for the culture,
It's
and
for the culture.
it's definitely something that is positive and brings folks together, in love, in genuine love. So thank you for what you're doing, man, and thank you for being on the podcast. And y'all, we I'm celebrating you, man. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm a sister, but I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you for having me. And I'm gonna continue to keep this SODO brand going in a positive way. So I definitely appreciate you for having me.
Oh, no doubt. Well, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to the Grown and Greek podcast, of course, with Mr. SODO, Errick. Well, let me just say it like this. Errick, Mr. SODO Presley, Omega Sci-Fi, my brother. And of course, make sure you following us on all social media platforms at Grown and Greek Podcast. If you know somebody's story that we need to tell, please hit me up on IG, and make sure that you like, follow, share, and subscribe to the podcast on all podcast platforms, and even on YouTube at Grown and Greek Podcast. My brother E, thank you.
Thank you.
You can support Grown and Greek by subscribing to the podcast, shopping our exclusive luxury accessory line, or purchasing books from the D9 Book Club by visiting our website at grownandgreekpodcast.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and share on social media at Grown and Greek Podcast. Thanks for watching.